Incredible facts you never knew about the Titanic. Titanic was the largest moving object ever built. It must have seemed like a floating city. The interior of the Titanic was modeled after the Ritz Hotel, with first-class cabins finished in the Empire style. The ship burned around 600 tons of coal a day, hand-shoveled into its furnaces by a team of 176 men. Almost 100 tons of ash were ejected into the sea every 24 hours. Only 3 of the 4 smokestacks were actually functional. The extra one was just to make the ship look more impressive. Though it was the biggest ship in the world, it still took 73 years to find its wreckage. When the wreck was found, it finally confirmed reports that the ship had, in fact, broken in two. This was a long disputed issue. Only 16 wooden lifeboats and 4 collapsible boats were carried, enough to accommodate 1,178 people. That's only 1/3 of Titanic's total capacity. A lifeboat drill that was supposed to take place the day of the sinking was cancelled by the ship's captain. The ship's lookouts had to rely on their eyesight alone. The ship's binoculars were locked inside a cabinet that no one could find the key to. The ship received 6 warnings about icebergs during the voyage. Just 37 seconds elapsed between the sighting of the iceberg and the collision. A ship spotted an iceberg with a streak of red paint going along its side soon after the crash. This is believed to be the iceberg that sank the ship. The SS Californian is infamous for having been near the Titanic when it sank, but not coming to its aid until it was too late. 3 years after the Titanic, the Californian sank too. The ship's band played music right until the very end to try and calm passengers. The last remaining survivor passed away in 2009, she was just 2 months old when the ship sank. One of the ship's cooks, Charles Jockin, was able to survive much longer in the cold water than others because of the copious amounts of whiskey he had drank. The Titanic movie ended up costing more to produce than it cost to build the Titanic, which was the largest and most luxurious ship at the time, even when adjusted for inflation. It took on 400 tons of water per minute after it hit the iceberg. The water filled the bow of the ship first, which caused the stern to lift up into the air and eventually break off. It was 400 miles from land when it sank. Newfoundland was the nearest destination, but the Titanic was already underwater within a few hours of hitting the iceberg. Saved from the Titanic was a silent film released in May of 1912. It starred Dorothy Gibson, an actress who survived the sinking. When news of the sinking reached the mainland, several papers misreported that there were 0 casualties. Once the real numbers started coming in, people banded together to raise money for the victims.